Good morning, everyone. It is now 10:01. Welcome to Watch Party Wednesday. My name is David Rodriguez. Hi, everyone. And I am so excited to welcome you to our Watch Party Wednesday. We have the census with us, Lucia de la Cruz, and she will be presenting a great presentation about the census, an overview, and also how you can host a census watch party in your school community. Before we get started, I just want to quickly go over today's platform and how you can um, enjoy by joining us with questions and also participating as a panelist later on. So let me go over some of the features we are using today. If you look at the right hand side, you will see a chat feature. Today's chat is going to be monitored by our colleague Mohammed. Mohammed, would you like to say hello?
Everyone. Hi, hello everyone. This is Mohammed. I work for FACE in Empowerment Liaison for District 9 and 11. I will be controlling the chat, so please, throughout the event or throughout the watch party, if you have any questions, feel free to send them there. I will keep a tally of them, and if I have an answer for any, I will send it right away.
Thank you so much, Mohammed. We also have my colleague Diana Miller, who will be monitoring your Q&A section. So please make sure you look at the features. You have chat, you have Q&A, and I am going to ask Diana to quickly introduce herself.
Yes, good morning, everyone. I am Diane again from FACE, Parent Empowerment, along with my colleagues. I will be facilitating the questions and answers, so feel free to add in any questions. I work with District 31 in Staten Island and North Queens, District 24, 25, and 26. Welcome, everyone. We're excited, and I'm glad for all the participants that are here today. Have a great day.
Awesome. And our last colleague is Chanel, and Chanel will be monitoring the hand feature. So Chanel, if you would like to share who you are and also how our attendees can raise their hands. So I'm going to unmute Chanel.
Hi, good morning. My name is Chanel. I'm the intake coordinator here at FACE. Welcome, everyone. So happy you're here. Teacher.
We have some technical difficulties, so Chanel, we're going to just bring you back again, and you can quickly introduce yourself and the hand feature. Chanel?
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, thank you. Hi, this is Chanel. I'm the intake coordinator for FACE. You can just raise your hand in the chat. It's on the right-hand corner below.
Awesome. Thank you, Chanel. Okay, so let's see who's joining us today in the watch party. Type in the chat where you coming from and who do you represent. So on the chat feature, I'm going to, if I was to write right now, I'm going to say my name is David Rodriguez. I am the Empowerment Liaison for the Bronx. So where are you coming from? Let's see some chats. Where are you representing us today? Also, we have Cheryl Levert, IS59Q. Welcome. Tamika. Ooh, it's coming up. We have Maria. Simone Brown. Welcome from Queens, District 29. We have Carlos. Welcome, Carlos, from Staten Island High School. We have Alicia from Staten Island. Allison, I'm sorry. We have Kathleen. Welcome, Kathleen. Field director. Yes, we have Kathleen in the house. Let me add Kathleen real quick. Awesome. Who else we have? We have Holly. Great. So what I want to do is before we start the watch party, I always like to show a quick video of our colleague Josh that's going to explain the watch party. And then we will go into announcements and then we will have a presentation from the census. Oh my God, I'm so excited. So let me share my screen and get you guys started.
About what you learned from the video and how you use that information. So excited to see you there, and we know that this is an awesome opportunity for all. Take care and happy hand washing. I'm Josh from Face here, coming to you from my home. I'm very excited to share what's coming up this week in our community chat page. This week, we'll be hosting our first Watch Party Wednesday. So what is Watch Party Wednesday? Watch Party Wednesday will dedicate 30 minutes on the PC website to educate and inspire you as parent coordinators to share with families best practices that they can do at home. This is a great opportunity for you to view a video made by the DOE educators and DOE partners. You can learn from each other by having discussions on the community chat feature about what you learned from the video and how you use that information. We're so excited to see you there, and we know that this is an awesome opportunity for all. Take care and happy hand washing. Hello everyone, Josh from Face here coming.
So that was my colleague Josh, and this is what Watch Party is. We're going to have a conversation, but I also want to make sure that you all know how to use the Parent Coordinator website. So I'm going to quickly go into the PC website so you can see. So after this conversation, after this watch party, you can join us on our community chat to post questions, to provide us feedback, and also we would love to learn how you use this information today. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to share my screen with you all and share the PC website. This is the Parent Coordinator Community website, and today we posted that we're live hosting a watch party. So after this watch party, we would love if you guys can comment on our comment page and make sure to check out some new information on our resource page, our personnel. We also have on this tab a calendar where it has updated live trainings. For example, today we will have a training on Microsoft Teams. So if you're interested in hosting an event on Microsoft Teams, please do not miss this event. It's happening today, I believe at 1 o'clock. So please join us today for the Microsoft Teams training. I also want to bring your attention to a Beyond Access series. It's a series presented by the Office of Special Education, and they will be having a special night from 7:30 to 8:30 to help families learn about the remote learning plan, instructional strategies, remote therapy services, and basic home activities, IEP meetings and evaluations, and getting help and support. This is a series that is focused on providing families of children with disability tools and strategies to support their child at home through remote learning. So please don't miss out. That's happening next week. We will be sending this information at the end of the week wrap up, so you are able to see some communication. And now I would like to introduce our speaker for the day, and then we also have the Senior Director, Kathleen, from the Census. She will also be providing some tips and tools for us during our Q&A session. Help me to welcome by putting your thumbs up on the chat, Lucia de la Cruz. Hi, Lucia, you are on.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm really, really honored. I work with so many parent coordinators in the Bronx and Manhattan, and they're wonderful to work with. We have been able to outreach so many people in the community because of the work and the relationships that parent coordinators have. Just a little background myself. I have been an educator and a human service provider for more than 20 years in New York City and upstate New York. And I love working with the education community, helping children succeed. So for me, this is like, it's a passion, being able to work for Census and make sure our communities get counted and we get funding for our school districts. So anyways, so that's just a little background, where I'm coming from and, why I worked in 2010 for Census. I was a partnership specialist then in the same area. And I would like to share some of the success and, but I'm going to focus on two things, basically. My idea is to empower parent coordinators to help their parents by, number one, having them learn how to complete the census questionnaire. Number two, help them identify the response rate in their area. And then talk about things that we can do to mobilize the community, to make sure people actually respond to the census. And we have some success stories, and we have some ideas based on my previous experience and what's happening right now that I would like to share with you. So we have a PowerPoint that, briefly goes over the census. If for those of you who are interested in getting like the full PowerPoint, this is not it. This is just sort of like a summary. The focus here is a questionnaire and how to mobilize the community to take action so that people can get counted and we can raise the response rates. We have some areas in New York City that are not doing too good, and we could do much better. So we're looking at that. How can we increase the response rates in those areas? We know that we've been affected by this pandemic, and it has actually had an effect on the response rate. But there's stuff we can do to actually overcome that. Do we have the PowerPoint?
Yes, I'm sorry. Let me.
So I have my contact information there. I wish that every parent coordinator could be working with a partnership specialist in your area. So I work in North Manhattan and the Bronx. So if you are not working currently with a partnership specialist, please, you have my email there, you have my phone number, you could text me your name, your information, and I'll make sure that you get in contact with someone who can help you to work with your community. We work in collaboration with other partnership specialists. Let's see the next slide. Okay. So, in terms of what, this is going to be brief. So census is mandated by Article 1, Section 2 of the U.S. Constitution. By law, we have to conduct a census every 10 years. And this started in 1790. So every year that ends in 0, a decennial census is conducted, okay? And why is it important? It determines the seats that the state has in the U.S. House of Representatives. That defines congressional and state legislative districts, school districts, and voting precincts. Okay, it determines the allocation of $675 billion of federal funding. And this is really crucial right now with the pandemic that we're all facing. And anyway, so this count provides insight to governments as to how in the community, how to make better planning for businesses and other purposes. So the idea, the mission is to count everyone once, only once, and in the right place. And we know that we have a lot of populations that move around, like snowbirds and a lot of students. So we have to count them in the right place and only once. Now, data protection is really important for us because we cannot do our work unless we actually can assure the public that the information that we collect is confidential and would not be shared. Title 13 of the federal law basically assures the public that information will only be used for statistical data. It will not be used, it will not be shared with any government or agency. So if a person violates this, okay, they can go to prison for 5 years or end up paying a fine of $250,000 or a combination of both. Okay, so in terms of security protection, we have cybersecurity programs that meet the highest standards to make sure that all the information is encrypted. Once the information is put on the site, it's collected, it's safe, okay? Next slide. So this was a design that we originally had. So we started with collecting addresses to make sure we send out every household, we send an invitation to complete the census, and that went very well. Then we went to the motivational phase. That went excellent. We did excellent work in the community. And as I said before, parent coordinator was such great partners to us because they open up the schools to us, and we were able to reach out these parents. Okay, we were able then to go on to we started what's called the response, the self-response phase. Right there when we started the self-response rate, it started on March 12, and then by March 18, we had to, basically delay everything because of the COVID-19. But Census continues to do work in other ways. We actually are working from home. We're working remotely. We're doing so much in terms of engaging our partners in a lot of the virtual events that we do. And some areas may not be doing well, so we contact these businesses that are still open, like hospitals, our partners that are hospitals, pharmacies, supermarkets, and we make sure that we ship them flyers, we ship them promotional items for them to distribute them, and make sure that everyone knows that they have to complete the census questionnaire. So anyway, so these dates have been delayed. So we're gonna go to the next slide that's gonna show the adjustments that were made. So because of COVID-19, obviously, we had to make adjustment because we have to protect the health and safety of the American public, also of the Census Bureau employees, right? So that delay, we had to delay some of the dates, and we had to adjust some of the dates because we cannot be in the field until the city and state and health organizations say that it's okay for us to be out there. So anyway, so I have a link there to this adjustment. So basically, we have until October 31st of this year to complete the census online. This should not be told to people because then they wait for the last minute. But we still have that. We extended. The day was extended, so people have ample time to complete the census. Okay, let's go on to the next slide. Okay, next slide. Okay, children. Children are always the focus, especially for parent coordinators. In 2010, we, for whatever reason, we missed, depending on who is quoting figures, they say it was over a million children that were not included when guardians and parents completed the census questionnaire. They did not include children that were from newborn to 5 years old. They left them out of the form. And what that led to was loss of a lot of funding for a lot of communities. And that's one of the initiatives that we have to make sure that this does not happen again. So that's the reason why I'm so involved with the schools. I want to make sure that every child gets counted, whether they're babies. We had a big thing with in the Bronx with Lincoln Hospital, and there's a baby that was born right before on the 31st. So we had pictures of the baby with a census hat, and that was phenomenal, giving what was happening. And this baby, who made us so happy, seeing him being born and celebrating census. Okay, so remember, that's a very important initiative that parent coordinator can help. So you have 4 options to complete the census. You can do it online, you can call a toll-free number, or you can complete the census questionnaire, which most people have received in this area, around New York City. Or if you don't do it in those 3 ways, we're gonna have an enumerator come and knock on the door, which is something that, given the pandemic, people should, maybe don't want at this point. The good thing is that the 12 languages will be used for online purposes. There will be 12 languages, okay, that people can actually complete the census questionnaire. And there will be 59 other languages that are in video, print, and assistance will be provided. Okay, so the 12, these are the languages, 59 languages are there. And then the ones that are in bold are the 12 languages in which you could do the form online. So you see Spanish right in the middle there, because there are a lot of Spanish speaking in this area and all throughout the United States, actually. That's the number. After English, Spanish is a second language. Okay, let's continue. Okay, so this is a short video that it sort of like summarizes what census is about, and it tells you how to complete the questionnaire. This is important for parent coordinators. If you know how to do it, then you could actually assist your parents, and they'll do an excellent job. So this is, it might, it's like 9 minutes, but I think it's worth the time that we'll learn a lot from it too. Okay. Derry, you were not able to get the video? The previous slide. Okay. I don't know if we're able to put up the video. If we're not,
over the phone or
I'm gonna
using
try
the
to
paper
do it one more
questionnaire.
time. I'm sorry, it's a little
If
bit
you
of a delay.
respond,
I'm
we
gonna
may
share
not
it
need
right
to
now.
send a Census Bureau interviewer to visit you. An interviewer may still visit if you respond late. If we have follow-ups, present a quick
Can
overview
you
of the
see it
online
now?
questionnaire and help you answer the questions.
Yes, we can see. Can you
The
make it full screen?
2020 census is a count of every person living in the United States. The census is required by the U.S. Constitution and takes place once every 10 years. The 2020 census is very important. Your responses help to determine the number of seats each state has in Congress and guide how more than $675 billion in federal funding is spent in communities each year. The 2020 census is easy. Completing these questions only takes about 10 minutes. You can respond online from a computer, tablet, or mobile phone 24 hours a day. You can also respond over the phone or using the paper questionnaire. If you respond, we may not need to send a Census Bureau interviewer to visit you. An interviewer may still visit if you respond late, if we have follow-up questions, or for other surveys. Your information is confidential. Federal law protects your responses. Your answers can only be used to produce statistics and cannot be used against you by any government agency or court. Now we will take you on a quick tour of the Internet questionnaire. Step-by-step instructions will be provided later in the video. When you visit my2020census.gov, you will log in using the Census ID from the materials that were mailed to you or left at your door. We will ask you to confirm your address and provide your name and phone number. Next, we will ask you to count how many people will be living or staying at this address on April 1st, 2020, and list the name of each person who will be living or staying at your address. We will also remind you to include people that might have been missed. We will ask whether the home is owned or rented and who owns or rents the home. We will ask each person about their sex, date of birth and age, Hispanic, Latino, or Spanish origin, and race. When there is more than one person at an address, we will ask how they are related to the reference person. Finally, we will ask whether anyone sometimes stays at another address. If you're ready to begin, go to my2020census.gov now. The online questionnaire is available in English and 12 non-English languages. To select a language, click on the globe icon and select the name of the language, or select the name of the language at the bottom of any screen. Don't worry if you are looking for a language that is not listed. This video will show a step-by-step demonstration. Keep watching. You will need to complete the 2020 census in one session. If you leave, you will have to start over. To begin, choose Start Questionnaire. First, enter your 12-digit Census ID. Your Census ID is on the materials that we mailed to your address or left at your door. If you do not have a Census ID, select the link below the login button and answer some additional questions about your address. You will still be able to respond. Then, confirm that you are completing the 2020 Census questionnaire for the address shown. Select yes or no. If you will be staying at this address on April 1st, choose yes. Otherwise, choose no. The next button takes you forward, and the previous button takes you back. Do not use the forward or back buttons on your browser
or else you may need to start over. Next, enter your name and telephone number. Enter your full name in English letters. Sometimes a message may appear on the screen that asks you to check your response or enter additional information. Review what you entered before selecting the next button. Enter the number of people, including yourself, who will be living or staying at this address on April 1st, 2020. Click on the underlined blue links for help with the questions. Make sure that you count people where they usually live and sleep. If someone does not have a usual residence, count them where they will be staying on April 1st. Include babies and children of all ages, close or extended family members, people who are not related to you, and people staying here without a permanent place to live. Do not include anyone who lives away from this address most of the year, such as college students, armed forces personnel, people in a nursing home, mental hospital, jail, prison, detention center, etc., or people visiting who usually live and sleep somewhere else. These people will be counted in other ways. Then, list the name of each person living or staying at this address. To add more people, select the button labeled Add Another Person. We do not want to miss any people staying at this address on April 1st. If you forgot to include anyone who stays here, choose Yes and enter those names. Otherwise, choose No. Now you're ready for the next two questions about the home at this address. On April 1st, will the house, apartment, or mobile home at this address be owned by you or someone in this household with a mortgage or loan, including home equity loans, owned by you or someone in this household free and clear without a mortgage or loan, rented, or occupied without payment of rent? Then select the names of the owners or renters of this house, apartment, or mobile home. Next, we ask some questions about each person you listed earlier. First, we ask if the person is male or female. We also ask you to enter the month, day, and year this person was born. Make sure that the age that appears is correct as of April 1st, 2020. Next, we ask about Hispanic origin and race. Please answer both this and the next question. Select whether this person is not of Hispanic, Latino, or Spanish origin, Mexican, Mexican-American, or Chicano, Puerto Rican, Cuban, or another Hispanic, Latino, or Spanish origin. If you selected the last response, enter more details in the box below. Next, we ask about race. Select one or more checkboxes: white, Black or African American, American Indian or Alaska Native, Chinese, Filipino, Asian Indian, Vietnamese, Korean, Japanese, other Asian, Native Hawaiian, Samoan, Chamorro, other Pacific Islander, or some other race. Enter detailed origins in the boxes that look like this. Additional people will also see this question: how is this person related to the reference person? Select opposite sex husband, wife, or spouse, opposite sex unmarried partner, same sex husband, wife, or spouse, same sex unmarried partner, biological son or daughter, adopted son or daughter, stepson or stepdaughter, brother or sister, father or mother, grandchild, parent-in-law, son-in-law or daughter-in-law, other relative, roommate or housemate, foster child, or other non-relative. We're almost finished. Some people live or stay in more than one place, and we need to make sure everyone is only counted once. Select the name of anyone who usually lives or stays somewhere else. Otherwise, choose none of the above. If a person does usually live or stay somewhere else, select the reason why from the following: to be with a parent, grandparent, or other person, to attend college, for a military assignment, to be closer to a job or business, in a nursing home or group home, in a jail or prison, at a seasonal or second residence, or for another reason. Great job. You are now ready to send your responses. Select Submit Questionnaire to complete the 2020 census. You will see a confirmation page with your address and today's date. That's it. You have completed the 2020 census online. Thank you. We now close the web.
Okay, guys. So very simply, the next slide, we're gonna try to go fast because I know that we have time limitations. The next slide talks about response rate maps. So you can identify how your area is doing. And that's really important because, you could see at the national level right now, as of today, we're 60.1% nationwide, the response rate. That's not true necessarily for every state or every city or every county. There's going to be differences. So if we look at the 2020 response rate map, it'll tell you that you can just go online and, what I'll do, Derry can share with you guys some of that stuff there. So this is today's response rate, as you can see. So we've gone a long way despite the pandemic. And so if we go to a different slides, you can see that it's actually very easy to handle. And we could have another I guess webinar on how to read them because it takes time. Okay, it takes time to learn it, but it's useful. So I gave you some guidelines on how to do it on your own. Okay, and so we want to focus mostly, I think, on what to do. Now that you saw the video on how to assist your parents on completing the census questionnaire, how did you get the parents to complete the questionnaire? And I'll just leave the census map and all that stuff out. I think we could have another event where I can show you how to use all those mapping tools. Okay, and you could go and do what's called, how is your community doing? You actually go and find out if you put, there's several tools you could use. The census form, the census response rate map, but there's also the HTC, the hard to count map, which is excellent. You could put in the address and it'll tell you what tract is where you live, okay? And census tract is anywhere from 1,200 people to maybe up to 8,000 people, okay? And it'll tell you by tract, excuse me, how you're doing. So what you want to do is you want to challenge people to raise the response. So there's some areas the response is very, very low right now. So the idea is to mobilize people so that they can complete the census. So if we go to ways the ways to mobilize, and then we just go over that, and then we'll just end. We'll end with ways to mobilize. And I have there some videos that I won't show, but so ways to mobilize. I have a lot of, okay, ways to mobilize. Okay, so if we look, one of the things I'm going to tell you guys is Co-op City it's a success story right now. They're like 78, 70, almost 80% response rate in certain area of Co-op City. Okay, and the reason why you're able to accomplish that there is because they are very well organized and they're very well connected, okay, in terms of organizing to make sure that every tenant completes the census. They don't have barriers, like they don't have a lot of barriers in terms of language, because language poses a problem sometimes when, because you have people in the Bronx, specifically in Queens and Brooklyn, where you have they have diversity, you have people from different culture and backgrounds who speak different languages. It's not easy to coordinate efforts, so, because they speak different languages. We had an excellent success rate in 2010 in Washington Heights. Washington Heights gained 77% response rate. And it was actually, can be attributed to the fact that the community worked together, and also because it was pretty homogeneous. Washington Heights, for the most part, is Spanish speaking. So when you tell one person something, they're able to spread it around, right? That does not happen when you have communities that are very diverse and you have people who speak different languages. Unfortunately, it's beautiful to have diversity, but then we have to overcome that. We have to find ways to overcoming that. And that's what this part is about. How do we overcome that? And one idea that was very successful in 2010 was census ambassadors. You, as parent coordinators, those parents that are excellent, that are leaders. You can choose those parents from different ethnic communities who speak different languages. They could be the envoy, they could be the ambassadors in their community, and make sure they share their information. we actually have students in high school who help their parents. They learn about census and the questionnaire. They will go home and assist their parents in completing the questionnaire. And that's one of the ways that we were able to raise those numbers in Washington Heights and some parts of the Bronx. Complete count committees. These work very, very well, okay? They do amazing things together. They get together and figure out ways on how to overcome barriers to the response rate. So again, knowledge of the community is key. If you understand, and that's the reason why the mapping tools are really good, because you can go into the demographics. For example, there was one area in the Bronx that was doing very, very badly. And it was an area that was badly hit by COVID-19, and in which it was a tract that was 1,700 people there. And out of the 1,700, like 1,200 were Spanish speaking. And a lot of them were recent immigrants who were afraid to respond. Once we found that out based on the mapping tools, we actually went to the businesses in the area. We went to the supermarkets, hospitals, pharmacies, and we shipped promotional items to distribute, and the response rate went up immediately. We saw the response rate go up. Okay, so this is where you can come in. Those essential institutions and businesses that are still open under COVID-19, we can figure out a way to go and reach out to them for them to help us, because census cannot do it alone. The city of New York, and I think we have a couple of representatives from the city of New York, has done an amazing job outreaching and making sure people know. They have texted people to their phones to remind them to complete the questionnaire. That's an excellent. I mean, you guys are doing the city of New York is doing an excellent job. Not only that, they created this incredible PSAs with people with artists that people can relate to, like Alicia Keys, Cardi B, Ocasio, Representative Ocasio, and Lynn Miranda. These are young men and women who the public identifies with. So anyway, so these are ways that we can figure out what's going on in the area and try to overcome that. And as parent coordinators, identify your leader in that school for every community, and have them become the census ambassador. Okay, for them to spread the news through social media, because we're not doing anything in the field. So it's posting things on Instagram, Facebook, and stuff like that. Nothing, we're not in the field, and we don't promote that in the field because of COVID-19. So that's basically some of the ideas that we can pull together and figure out how to best work to raise consciousness and motivate people to complete the census questionnaire. I'm done.
Derry, we can't hear you. On mute.
Wow, here we go. I just want to say thank you so much to Lucia de la Cruz for this wonderful presentation. Before we introduce our next guest, I just want to say thank you to Lucia. She is out in the field. She is an essential worker out there ensuring that everyone receives this information, her team. They're doing a lot of outreach and coming up with plans that will ensure the future of our kids, ourselves, to ensure that we have those resources that we need to thrive in New York City. So thank you so much, Lucia, just for providing us an overview of the tools that we can share with our families, how to fill out the census, but most importantly, that mapping. We need to know if our borough is thriving. If it's not, we are able to support as family liaisons to ensure that our community are filling out the census. With that, I would like to introduce Kathleen. Kathleen Daniel. She is the field director for the New York City Census. And Kathleen is coming from us from the New York City Census to share some great tools that are coming up. So we are the first. I want to say we are the first to learn about these new toolkits that are coming up we use to promote the census, especially in a time now, COVID-19, when we're home? And how can we outreach to families, Kathleen? What can we do as family liaisons? Because we want our families to participate. So with that, help me to welcome Kathleen, Field Directors for New York City Census.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. So I am so excited to be part of this meeting. I found out about it last night. Was like, yes, parent coordinators are the front line. I am a PTA parent. So shout out. I hope Ronnie's on the line from New York Harbor School. Shout out to Tracy over in Brooklyn. Parent coordinators, you guys are the ones we parents want to talk to. We aren't trying to wait for an appointment with the principal. So thank you for all that you do, because you really keep us going and sometimes keep us sane, and definitely all the time keep us informed. So this is the group I want to talk to. Let's talk census. Let's talk organize. Thank you, Lucia, because everything Lucia said, gospel, okay? La verdad. Everything she said was absolutely true. And this is the information that we need to get parents going and to get the kids to get the parents going, because I might not pay attention to half of the stuff that walks through my door, but anything in those backpacks, anything they tell me, Mom, you got to do this, you know I'm doing it, right? And I'm no different from most parents. So let's talk some numbers. Let's talk a little kind of scary things for a minute. Can we? Let's go there. USA, 60%. Self-response. And self-response is what we're after. It is the most accurate information that we can get for the census. That is when you DIY, do it yourself, because who knows better who's living in your house, who's hogging up the couch and eating all the snacks right now than you. So you need to provide the data to the Census Bureau, because it's the most accurate information we're going to get. 60% of US has done this and self-responded. New York State, 55%. New York City, 50%. We're halfway there, but that means we're only halfway there. And do you see the trend? The numbers are getting lower. Let's shout out to the boroughs. Right now, Staten Island, y'all always say you're the forgotten borough, is leading the charge. 56.3% as of May 24. Staten Island is on the map and showing off. I know we've got some parent coordinators here from Staten Island. Whoop, whoop, shout out to you guys. Next in line, we've got Manhattan, money making Manhattan at 51.7%. But Manhattan, as much as I love you, you guys are going slower than you were 10 years ago at this time, because many people in Manhattan, Upper East, Upper West, they fled the city during the pandemic, and they did it before they did the census. So we need you to get in touch with your parents and let them know they don't have to be in the city right now to do the census. They can go to my2020census.gov. They can pick up the phone and get it done. Then we have the Bronx, the boogie down, 51.4%. So the Bronx is a little more than halfway there. And then we need to talk about the regal boroughs, the Queens and the Kings counties, because we again are the top of the bottom. In Queens, we're coming in at 49.7%. And in Brooklyn, my beloved Brooklyn, we are at 47.4%. Don't laugh. It hurts. 47.4%. And 10 years ago, Brooklyn finished at 55%. So if we want to keep these crowns, kings and queens, and get this done, we've got to shore up these numbers. And I'll share something with you that's scary. When you look at like one of the most underperforming neighborhoods in the city, and there are many, but in Brooklyn, we're looking at Canarsie, right? It's not the lowest performing right now, but it is among the low 25 neighborhoods. Canarsie also has the highest rate of deaths and cases in the COVID pandemic. And we're seeing that happening across the city. Now, I'm not a statistician, but if you see that the low census count neighborhoods are high COVID count neighborhoods, we want to think about that. And I'm pulling down my glasses and giving side eye just for those of you who are on the call. So what do we do about it? How do we get involved? this is what we're doing. So Lucia mentioned we have some great PSAs out. We got Cardi B out there talking about mi gente presente. We've got AOC and Lin-Manuel Miranda. We have some more coming up. We've got Alicia Keys. We just got Seth Meyers. His is out there now too. And there's more to come. I can't announce it yet, but as soon as it's out, you can follow us. It is our director, Julie Menon. That's J Menon at Twitter. You can follow me. I'm the number one, Kathleen Daniel. And we have tons of information on our website, nyc.gov/census. Now, here's what you can do. We were texting out the count for months. We texted over 3 million New Yorkers, sent them the link and got them to complete the census. So now our greatest area of need is phone banking. And we do virtual phone banks, which means anyone can sign up to volunteer on our website, nyc.gov/census. Click on Get Involved. And you can sign up. We'll set you up. You use your phone, use your laptop or your tablet, and you can call people up in New York City and tell them, hey, did you do the census? Do the census. Are you going to do the census? Do you need information about doing the census? Here's the website. Here's the phone number. Do the census. Or you don't even have to dial. You join a group or form your own group. So you can have PS5 can do their own group. Okay, PS23, you can do your own group. You need 20 or more, and then we'll do a predictive dialer phone bank for you where you have your cell phone, your laptop, tablet, or computer, and you don't have to dial. Your phone number is private. All you do is sit and wait for the beep. You read the script and you ask them, hey, did you do the census? Are you going to do the census? Wait, you didn't do it? Let me patch you through. And you click one and it sends you to Lucia's team at the Federal Census Bureau that will speak to you in 13 different languages and help you get it done. Because right now, don't talk about it, be about it, get it done. Halfway there. We were students. If you could have gotten 100 on a test and you were coming home with a 50%, that was the longest walk you ever walked. Your stomach hurt, your head hurt. You didn't want to go in that house. And so if we want to be about it, if we want to go back to being the center of the universe instead of the epicenter for a pandemic, we've got to get this census done because this is a race for the money. The census is about money, power, and respect. Our fair share of over $675 billion a year. And we only get to take this test once every 10 years. So no matter what you feel, what your experience is, every 10 years, we're all equal. We all count. We all count as one. So we need to be united in this force. So sign up for a phone bank. And on Tuesdays, we do bilingual phone banks in English, Spanish, English, Mandarin, English, Cantonese. Soon we're going to be adding English and French and English and Creole. Sac passe, where are all my people out there? Because we know that in New York City, you've got to speak the language of the deal. And if you want to request putting together a phone bank, we will help you. We'll give you the toolkits. We'll set you up. We'll put together a hotline. You can ask us questions throughout. We will support you, but we can't call through 8 million phone numbers alone. We need you. We need you to be sending out information. And we've got some amazing social media toolkits. We have WhatsApp groups in 15 different languages. So we've got some really cute stuff that people can just be texting their friends, and you can invite your parents to get involved. And some of you out there have students that still have not been able to do their community service. They can dial on the phone with us. All they need is a permission slip, and we will train them. We will put them on the phone. It also helps build up a little resume because one day they could work for a call center and pay for college. So all of this can get done. I have my colleague Danielle who's going to post some links in the chat for you. I am putting my email address right now in the chat. It's kadaniel@census.nyc.gov. We are getting ready right now for our Juneteenth programming. Juneteenth is June 19th. That is Independence Day for the people who the sun loves. So we want you to join us at any time during that week. We're going to do some special phone banks. We're going to have elected officials kick us off before the phone bank, and we're going to do them for a tight hour. We want your students to get involved. Where are the juniors? Where are the seniors? These are the people that are going to take over, that are going to benefit the most from this money that you're going to help us bring into the community. So please join us. Don't just listen to the sound of my cute little voice. Get online, go to nyc.gov/census and get involved. Get in a phone bank, text your family and friends, make sure they're doing okay in the pandemic, and then make sure that we're paving the path to recovery through participation in the census. Thank you.
Kathleen, you just gave us some knowledge. You really have. How many of you guys are ready to call our parents? I'm ready to say, we're gonna do some phone banking, we're gonna do some outreaching. Lucio gave us some knowledge on the overview about the census, so I know how. I feel like I can do this. I can go out there. So you know what? I want to hear from some parent coordinators, Kathleen, Lucia. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a couple of questions because we're running out of time from our chat, from our Q&A session, and also if any PCs or family leadership coordinators, because they're in the house today. Shout out to the FLCs and the family support coordinators. Let's get some questions. So if let's start with the chat. We have Mohammed who's monitoring the chat. Do we have any can you read off one of the questions for our panelists, Lucia and Kathleen? So Mohammed, you are on.
So I'll start. There's only two questions that were asked. So I'll start with the one that was posted earlier. How do we know what's the success rate in our community? Does the census web show this? So this
Do
is
you want to?
go ahead.
So for us in New York City, one of the things, and let me tell you, we are making history with every step that we take. Every time we talk about the census, New York City has never, ever, ever promoted getting involved and doing the census. Never. And the mayor and the city council put in a joint $40 million for this campaign, NYC Census 2020. So we're making history in having this conversation. And in the history of New York City, we have been undercounted. Okay, so much so that decades ago we sued and said, no, our undercount is so bad. People don't understand how in New York City, we are doubled up in apartments. We've got apartments under apartments. We've got legal, illegal. We've got it all. And we speak over 200 languages here. So success for us it comes in a number of ways. One, getting the historically undercounted communities, which are immigrant communities, Black communities, Latino communities, Jewish communities, to get those numbers north of where they have been the last 2 decades, right? And we also want to at least match the national average. 10 years ago, the national average was about 74% self-response, and we came in at 61.9%. But now I can honestly tell you the national self-response rate is 60% and New York City is at 50%. We are gaining on them. Show the country what New York City does in the face of a challenge. We got this. We can make this happen.
Thank you so much, Kathleen. We have a question. Will you be able to post the information on how parent coordinators can get involved with the phone banking? We have a couple of folks who are asking for that information.
So there are 2 ways, because you can set up your own phone banking group, or you can join a phone banking group. We do predictive dialer phone banks 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. And on Tuesdays, we do bilinguals. But you can have your own group. If you have 20 people or more, you can do predictive dialer. However number of people, you can do the virtual phone bank, where you decide what time you want to call, for how long you want to call, and you could do it yourself, or you could do it with 5 friends in a Zoom chat, whatever works for you. So I have my email in the chat. It's KADANIEL@census.nyc.gov. Or you can go online to our website, and that is nyc.gov/census. Click on Get Involved, and you can click on the volunteer tab, or you can actually join one of the phone banks that are happening this week or next week. But either way, we want you. We want to support you in supporting your parents. Let's do this.
I have another question. How do you recommend I approach getting my parents to complete the census at my school? I have parents who speak 4 different languages: English, Spanish, Bengali, and Arabic.
Oh, wonderful. Are you in Queens? This must be a Queens question, right? I'm not going to be surprised. Right? Okay. So, and in Queens, we have quite a number of undercounted communities as well. So, there are a number of ways. One, when you talk money for education, first of all, when you talk money, everybody's listening. This is about money, and immigrant communities particularly really prioritize education number one. So you can let them know the free breakfast, free lunch, the Title I funding for your school, all federally funded. All that information is based on how many students are coming into your school. We know about per pupil funding. The parents don't know. Let them know. The more people that fill in the census, the more money they get for their school. And if a community is expecting only 100 students to come in because we left millions of children off the census 10 years ago, then 150 show up. Those students are always going to have too little, and it will be 10 years. If you leave a 5-year-old off of the census today, let them know they'll be 15 and almost out of school, a sophomore, junior in high school, before they can make it right. So let them know that it is about money to support their children's education. I am the first American born of Haitian immigrants. My mother would have stopped you mid-sentence and done whatever you said if she heard children and education in the same sentence. She didn't even need the rest of the English. She got you right there. So talk about money, talk about school, talk about children, and they trust you to do it because you're the parent coordinator. You are God to us. So let them know. And then we also have information. If you email me, I can send you in Bangla, I can send you in Hindi, I can send you in whatever language you need. We've got 25 different languages. And I have brochures that we can give you as well that have tons of information in at least 15 languages. So you can get the word out to them and join our WhatsApp group, because then you can steal stuff from us. And you can go on our website, nyc.gov/census, go to get involved, and you can join a WhatsApp group in 15 different languages and grab the information you need. You don't even need to know what it says. Just send it to them.
Awesome. And that actually was a question from Brooklyn. So Brooklyn is about to increase participation. Thank you so much, Sharon, for that question. I'm going to take one more question, and this question is going to Chanel. Do we have anyone that's raising their hand to join us for a conversation? Is there anyone raising their hands to ask Kathleen or Lucia a direct question? Do we have anyone from the audience? Let me see those hands go up. All right. Now, we can hear you now. Hey, Chanel.
Hi, Derry. What's going on? I don't see everyone, but I raised my hand for Kathleen. Thank you so much, Kathleen. You're awesome.
Oh, thank you, sweetie. Thank you.
Okay, so we have one more minute just to say thank you so much, Kathleen. Thank you so much, Lucia, for joining us, helping us to make a difference in our school community. Everyone, that this video will be posted on the PC website. So please let your colleagues know to join the conversation. We want to hear from you. We want to know, how did you use this information today? And guess what? We're going to do Battle of the Boroughs because I'm ready. Let's see Brooklyn go up. As a matter of fact, let's type in your chat who's going to win the Battle of the Boroughs census. Who's going to win? Because we're gonna do a second segment. Lucia's gonna come back and show us more of the details so we can see where we at when it came to after today, how our participation increased. Okay, Brooklyn is saying we have Brooklyn that's saying that's gonna win the Battle of the Boroughs. Okay, Queens is going hard. Queens is saying Queens is gonna do this. Okay, I see a lot of Queens. Where's Bronx? Where's my BX? BX. Where's Bronx? Okay, Brooklyn and Queens is battling. Brooklyn and Queens, we're battling right now. Okay, Queens, one more time. Okay, Queens. So, I'm eager. I'm excited. Thank you so much, Lucia. Thank you so much, Kathleen. for joining us at our Watch Party Wednesday, where we look at videos, we have live discussions, and most importantly, we bring this back to our school community. We ensure that parents know this information. I want to thank everyone, all the PCs, FLCs, FSCs, all of our empowerment team. Shout out to our empowerment team. Feel free to say your final goodbyes. We have Chanel in the house. Chanel, you can say you're unmuted. Next we have Mohammed. Mohammed, final thoughts.
I just been fed up so much energy from Kathleen. I need to run right now.
We have Diana.
Has been truly amazing. We love you, Lucia and Kathleen, and your energy and your detailed information has been amazing. I'm sending those datas out so we can all continue this hard work to support the census, to get all this money that we are entitled to help our communities. This has been amazing. This is why I liked it, the data, because now we're going to be in competition. We still have a lot of work to do, and we're going to do this work. And I know the PCs are going to continue to get involved in making sure these numbers do go up. This has been an amazing watch party. Thank you all.
Thank you guys. And I want to hear once again from you. If you're hosting a watch party census in your school, if you're doing phone banking, if you're organizing with your students, with your families, and to do outreach, please email us at face@schools.nyc.gov. Again, face@schools.nyc.gov. My name is Danny Rodriguez. I am your host, and I'll see you next week. Watch Party Wednesday is happening every Wednesdays from 10 to 11. Bye, everyone. Have an amazing day. And like my colleague Josh says, have fun washing your hands. Take care, everyone. Have an amazing day.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.